goodbye. If you arrive before me, go in. The house is unlocked, and only the ghost of an old violence guards.
Ready for breakfast in 60 seconds. New Road 60-second cinnamon rolls for the microwave.
We all know cinnamon rolls and their iconic look, whether we like them or not. An early morning staple, a midday munchie, or a late night dessert. Adored by most of the world, the cinnamon roll is a star in its own right. But what put them so high up on the food chain for desserts? We'll have to go back to the roots and figure that out. Well, cinnamon itself dates back to the early ancient Egypt, but not only for its culinary use, other methods being medical and for preservation. The home of the cinnamon roll, however, Sweden holds that title. This early version of the cinnamon roll made its debut when ingredients became easier to access. A healthier alternative to future versions of the dessert, the Swedish version focuses on a more light, aromatic experience, sometimes being twisted into knots and snails, which are the shapes we know now. Whereas the German version, Schnecken, an Americanized cinnamon roll, focus on a more sweet take on the dessert, sometimes including raisins, nuts, and other toppings. In Finland, they call it korvaporsi, and they're shaped like hearts. In Denmark, they're called kadnasned. When cinnamon rolls hit North America, the recipes were changed to fit our palates. That means more sugar, more butter, more cinnamon, but this time with a cream cheese frosting. This decision alone took it from a sometimes snack to an everyday treat for some. Cinnabon came around in the 80s and pretty much created the image of a cinnamon roll we know today.
We got Cinnabon. I've never had Cinnabon ever in my life, so I thought this was the perfect time to get it. I went a little crazy. I went and got the 4-pack. I got one called the Caramel Lover, the Oreo, Strawberry Cheesecake, and the Turtle. My problem with these are that I underestimated the size. I really underestimated the size of these, so it was a bit too much. I'm not a sweets person. I hope they don't go to waste. This is how I felt. Now, I started with the strawberry cheesecake because that's the one I was most excited about. I had to heat these up for a little bit, so they were all a bit like warm. And my first opinion on the strawberry cheesecake was pretty good. Honestly, exceeded my expectations. And then I tried the Oreo. Why was this the worst thing I've ever tasted? It was so disgusting. And that is just because I'm just not a chocolate person. But it has a really strong medicinal, like chalky, you know, that chocolate taste that only chocolate can have. It has that, and I think it's just the syrup, the chocolate syrup on it, but I really do not like it. After that, I tried the Caramel Lover, which at this point, everything just started to taste the same, and I forgot what the flavors were, so I was just eating to eat. And I was honestly starting to feel a bit sick. The Caramel Lover was too much for me at that point. Everything started feeling all squishy and too gooey for me. And I almost started to like vomit. Overall taste,
congrats,
pretty
you got
good,
a Marvin.
I guess. It's very sweet. One of these, I think it was the Caramel Lover. At some point, I honestly got sick of it because it was just too much. It had this weird like crunch on it, and it was just like too much. It had a crunch, and it was also very, very gooey and soft. And at this point, it was just too much for me. I was Ew, it just felt like slime, but it was still tasty. And lastly, I ate the turtle, which was decent. You know, it's a turtle. It's a turtle cinnamon roll, and it was just too much. Again, I felt sick. It was just so squishy. And oh man, I just couldn't anymore. Overall Cinnabon experience, that'll be one margin.